why the CIA had a psychic spy program back in the 1980s called Project Sunstreak, and where they would literally train remote viewers to view any place on Earth at any given time based on a set of coordinates. And then one day they were like, hey, view the Ark of the Covenant for us. This is the summary of what the remote viewer saw that day, but let's walk through it together because what he described is not myth. He saw a container made of gold and silver inside of another container made of wood and it looked like a coffin. He said it was covered in winged creatures called seraphim. The air was cold, the walls were stone. It was somewhere underground, but it was a sacred place. Surrounding this object, he saw people dressed in all white chanting in a language he didn't quite understand, but he wrote down that it was Arabic. He drew this domed building and labeled it Domed Mosque. And then he wrote more notes and they were like white clothes, Middle East, Arabic. But here's the thing, what if he wasn't hearing Arabic at all? Because in Axum, Ethiopia, there is a domed church and the priests wear all white and they chant in Ge'ez, which is an ancient Semitic language that sounds very similar to Arabic if you have an untrained ear. This church is where the Ethiopians believe the Ark of the Covenant is actually kept. The remote viewer also said the Ark of the Covenant is protected by guardians, unseen forces that make sure no one opens this unless they are authorized. Now, if you open it and you are not authorized, and Ethiopian priests say the exact same thing. They have one priest in charge of guarding the ark at a time, and he's never allowed to leave that compound. Usually they develop cataracts and pass away at an early age. No outsider has ever been allowed to see it. Everything about what this remote viewer saw makes me think that the Ark of the Covenant really could be in Axum, Ethiopia. I just don't think the CIA expected to find it there. But months later, they gave this remote viewer another set of coordinates, except this time it wasn't on Earth. He described ancient structures, pyramid-like shapes, and beings waiting for something to return. But we'll talk about that next time.